Well, as the days draw in, and it's certainly getting colder, the MUA have produced quite an interesting bit of information about exactly how we're spending our electricity. Of course, it's pegged at the moment until next year, but it's quite an interesting breakdown. So let's go through some of the things. You can see what you get for a unit of electricity here on the Isle of Man. And here's the list for 1 kilowatt appliances, so 1 hour's use in the kitchen, your cooker, your hob and your ring, bacon egg breakfast for less than half of one of those units, a conventional oven, 24 scones for 1 unit, you see what I mean, where we're going here, and there's many more. This explains exactly how you can use your appliances. A deep fat fryer for chips, for instance, could use a unit, and these are all obviously rough ideas exactly how you're going to do around the kitchen. Certainly there's so many things we have there. I mean, hair dryers, 1 minute drying session, 5 times 6 minutes, so you can get a whole week's worth out there, well, Monday to Friday anyway, for 1 unit. And even things like dehumidifiers, 5 hours use for 1 unit. And on this page, some more interesting facts. For instance, your 850 watt microwave, you can get 7 8-minute convenience meals for under 1 unit. There's an iron there, 25 minutes ironing for less than 1 unit. And so it goes on. You see the bread maker, slow cooker, toaster, tumble dryers, which of course those ones are very dependent, aren't they, on how they're rated. They're definitely recommended, I think it's AAA or something like that. Washing machines, again, we've got more tips actually on the MU website about how to do that. And some of it's quite obvious, but let's move down to this now. Our next section is showing heating. Very important when you're using electricity. A lot of people have moved over to this form. I've done that myself actually. A convector heater, 2 kilowatts, so half hour's warmth for 1 unit. Again, that will go up as you have more kilowatt bars on your devices. This is interesting about the way you have an oil-filled radiator, 2 hours warmth for 1 unit, and of course there's different ways that those radiators are filled. We'll come to that again a bit later on. So there you go. If you even got underfloor heating, it explains how much you're going to be using on that. This page has quite a lot of information on it as well about home entertainment systems and your computers. Like a desktop, 8 hours surfing for 1 unit, but a laptop, you'll get maybe 10 hours out of it. If you're a gamer, you're going to be using quite a lot of electricity, I guess, and 5 hours gaming for around 2 units. It's the things like your routers and those sort of things which you have on all the time. And again, there's more information coming up about things in standby mode and how much they'll be using. But a wireless router, 10 days for 1 unit, satellite receivers. TV's interesting, I thought as well. An LCD 40-inch screen, you can get over 5 hours viewing for 1 unit. But a LED, that jumps up to 20 hours. So there's been obviously a massive movement here on technology. And your Xbox Series X, around 6 hours gaming for 1 unit. Doesn't sound too bad. Of course, you've got your iPads and your iPhones, charging those, but that's quite good. The iPhone 11, you get 67 full charges for 1 unit of electricity. So here, more breakdown on the cost of using your appliances here in the Isle of Man. This site, of course, is basing it on our electricity prices, so it's quite useful. And everything you cook and do, it starts with your kitchen appliances. Let's have a look. How much per day can these things cost just to run? So a tall fridge, 10p. And then the American style one can be 21p, obviously a lot bigger. These are important ones. Washing machines and 11 kilogram A-rated, cost per cycle 12p. Your tumble dryer, A++, 53, I think that's one of the better ones. And then you get the condenser tumble dryers, a bit older, B-rated, so that'll jump to £1, 5p per usage. So all those, including your dishwasher, 21p. And on our next layer here, the cooker hob, 1 solid ring, 22p per hour. And obviously this is where you have to start thinking about it. There's a whole other thing. Deep fat fryers, 40 pence. Again, for an hour, but if you want your chips doing. And how microwaves work out. The cost for 10 minutes use of a microwave for a 0.9 kilowatt one, 3.5p. A kettle, interesting because obviously they're not on for too long. Because I always think that's going to be quite expensive because it's drawing a lot of electricity. What, 2.75 kilowatts a kettle, but for 10 minutes usage, 10p. So still have your cup of tea, and if you're having a toaster, go with it. A 4-slice toaster, 1.8 kilowatts for 10 minutes usage. Again, probably less than that, will be 7 pence. So in a way, this is kind of bringing, I think, quite a lot of relief actually, because I don't think many people know exactly how much it's going to be costing things. I mean, an electric shower, a 7.5 kilowatt, comes in at £1.65 per hour. So you can obviously think if you're having a 5-minute shower, how much, that's not really going to be that much, is it? But I mean, it all adds up. A basic inflatable hot tub, if you're heating that per hour, I think that's 33p, which I thought was going to be a lot more. I thought, but then, you know, that's a basic inflatable one. A lot of people have those bigger ones. Myself, I had one, but I turned it off for the winter. I thought that was my saving. It was my big sort of thing to have, but alas, you've got to cut back on things. So again, there's some tips here about what to do. Turn off your taps, repair dripping taps, swap a bath for a shower, and take 4-minute showers, and just reduce what you're doing. It says a 4-minute shower could save a typical household £70 a year on their bills, all to be taken into account at the minute. So there we go, there's a sort of outline of what you can expect to pay here in the Isle of Man for your appliances. Of course, it's the MUA website, so this is dealing purely with the electric side of things, but it does give you some thought maybe when you next do something about how much it's going to cost. As I say, as we get colder and it's still dark and you think about running those Christmas lights, it's quite interesting, for instance, again on the listings, to see how much you might be spending on that. Everything, obviously, with the lights revolves around moving from traditional bulbs over to LEDs. You can see here on the layout here the difference you can get if you change your light bulbs. So, of course, these prices here in the Isle of Man have been pegged until at least April next year, and there'll be more discussions ongoing. But anyway, the whole idea of what you might be spending on your usage of electricity is outlined on the MUA website for all the details.